Hello! This 3D guy here with my new modular dungeon set. Got a lot of stuff to show you. It was quite a bit to put together to make sure that it worked with every single system. But here we are. This is the general pieces of it. As you can see, I tried to keep it as simple and small as I possibly could. So just so it would be as easy to use as possible, but still be able to create entire dungeons on just with these simple pieces. And then I went and tested it with every single application, even Unreal, which when I started, I was told that it doesn't work with modular, but then I found a way to have it work perfectly with modular, like seamlessly, beautifully, and looks really, really good. So here's the general piece setup that you'll receive. Also, in order to demonstrate its abilities, I put together a dungeon, pre-dungeon, for just demonstration, but then I decided to include it also as a bonus dungeon for people to just throw stuff into and just use. So you don't even have to build with it. You can also look at how I used the pieces are pretty specific. You've got your let me see here. You've got your right here, your dirty walls, which are just dirt walls, the same dungeon walls as these right here. You can see that the cursor is pretty light, but these are the general dungeon walls with a piece right here that that is used for. It's more for when you have to build large pieces. It's got most of these. The reason why I didn't build them as one-sided geometry is because most of them, every piece that I could, has a double side. To blend with the dirty walls and to blend with a little more, so you can have a little more variation. So and blending them the two together. So you have these right here, and even on the dirty walls, you have those right there. But then on the back, you can't really see it too much. But then it's dirtier and it blends in more. So as you can see, this one right here blends a little more. This one right here blends a little more. Wireframes are as such very, very low poly, with really detailed textures, and then making it super low volume to use. So it has very little geometry. And let's go back to texture solid. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the general setup of the different items. And let me click play, and you can see that it builds pretty easily. And then you have your general set. So you have your basic structures, and then to show you kind of, I built this kind of to demonstrate how quickly and easily it is to build. You can what I would suggest doing is build your basic walls, then build your basic rooms that you want, and you can reuse rooms over and over again. And this is like kind of the middle room. You have, and just to show all the pieces, and kind of how they go together. So this is all included into it, just to kind of give you a demonstration of how it kind of folds together. And so next I'm going to bring it in, and this is just going to be your standard 3D application. So I made it able to work with your standard 3D applications. It works great, and your included to work with any of the major 3D gaming applications also, and I'll show you all of them, including Blender, because Blender is a free standard 3D application that then you can use to grab items, change items. Wait, give me a second here, and I am going to load in the next one that I have ready to go for all of the standard. I want to show you first the standard 3D renders and what they look like, and then I'm going to go in and show you what the how great it looks in your 3D apps. Okay, so we have our dungeon here. Let's go to camera view. Okay, so, and each one I just quickly did, it's a quick render just to kind of show you. You can take as much time do you want to get the details out. I'll show you more of what it looks like when I go to the real-time renders in some, like, I don't know if you're, most 3D artists now, I take most of my stuff to view kind of what they look like in render engines, game engines. So then I don't have to wait for render times, and it does such a great job that you can really see details and such that you can't see just by this sort of stuff. So this one, rendering this one, I just put them in. So that's that one rendered. And sorry for the graininess. I just did a pretty quick render. I mean, I could have taken longer, but I just decided to do just quick renders to show you kind of what generally the grungy dungeon look can look like. Then we have this one, just to kind of give you an idea. You'll see more. You'll see more of this later on. Okay, that one is what this one looks like when rendered. So boom, and then boom. Okay, just kind of a grungy dirt look. So then you have a version, so you can have like dirt tunnels, and you can curve. I made them so you can curve into them. You can create round rooms. You can do really, it gives a little definition, gives a little variance to just the straight walls that you would have. This one here looks approximately like this. So you have this and this. Okay, then this one, I wanted to get more a better look at this, so you can see this room, and this one looks like this. A little volumetrics. I added a couple effects into this one just to kind of show you what it would look like once you put in your flames and your different effects with volumetric. It has a little bit of volume just to give it a little definition. I'll show you more when I show you Blender. And we got a lot to cover, so I'm going to be, because we have to go through all the apps. Okay, so I just wanted to show all the apps so you know exactly what you're getting, and you can see how awesome. So that one's that render, so that and that. Okay. and this one looks, and this is where you can build round rooms and dungeons that are all dirt. This is all dirt. So you have this and this. So this is like an underground dungeon with cages, and put monsters in it, and you can use them. I made it so you could use it for stills, you could use it for art, for sets, for what you're doing with your general 3D apps. And so let's go back to that one again. Just wanted to show you some renders, and yeah, sorry they're kind of grainy, but you get the general idea of what it's going to look like when it renders. If you put, I don't really like to wait for renders because it's just so long. So and it's just so much easier to just take it into a real-time renderer and just look around and see. But you can see how I've made everything blend together. I've made all of the bricks align together. I've made it so it'll react really well with materials. It's all materials, all ready to go. And okay, that's for that. Now next, let's go to Blender. And so here you have, this is show you a little bit more of what the general the general geometry looks like. As you can see, you can build and build and build. 64,000 verts for this, and most of those are really the holders to the torches. So I mean, you can it just depends on kind of what you need. You can limit the amount, make it smaller, or you can go all out depending on what your needs are. Really. So this is kind of what it looks like in here, but then see, this is Blender 2.0. So I'm also preparing something for this because a lot of people can use this for free. So it's a good medium platform too to take it from your 3D standards into Blender and then export out into your various things, depending on what your 3D application is. Like Lightwave right now has a Unreal Engine straight from Lightwave to Unreal Engine right now. So okay, so also you have now a real-time renderer in Blender, which is super nice. And as you can see, it is pretty incredible. Let me show you some items here. Show you what's going on here. Okay, so this is a little easier to show you what you kind of can get, and kind of like how really great it looks. I've made everything really seamless, tested it and everything. You can also create bloom now real time. You can see this bloom and volumetric lighting right in real time rendered, just to kind of give you an idea of kind of what you can do and how it's kind of gonna look in your general apps. Let's go to this is the dirt round room. Oop. This is kind of, so as you can see, you can do many things. I don't have volumetric on this one, but I just put lighting in where you'd have your torches for this. You can create your effects when you do them, but as you can see, it has, it's very easy now to do volumetric lighting real time with Blender too, and it just with the real time render, oh my gosh, it is so freaking great. Okay, it really is for checking out your what items, how you're gonna, just to make things. Here, let me. Okay. Selected, and you can see, and you can just create and create and create. You can just go and go and go and create as many rooms as you want to create. And this is kind of what it's gonna, this is what the dirt rooms look like. The only thing you have to remember, and this is part through testing, when you do, let's go, so shading, top tab, okay, you have, you need to make sure when you put in your materials that when using modular, there's always things to learn about when you're using modular sets. So in Blender specifically, right here, let's see if I can make this a little more. You use world space in your normals. This is all, and this is kind of new, so I'm telling you this. Use world space, because in world space, all of your different modular sets are going to be lit in the same in the same world, so they'll all mesh beautifully together. And as you can see, floor and bottom match with your dirts, and they just flow. I mean, you're just going to be able to just put this stuff in, build your different rooms first, I would suggest, because then you can just take those rooms, group them together, and build just a hallway, specific rooms, and then go from there, and then build another room, put it into a collection. If you're using Blender, whatever standard application is, I would suggest having the materials there, taking them in, turning them into the rooms, the general rooms, and then moving them all together. You can just take a general room, and then you can use it, copy it. You can use this, copy it, do whatever you want with this particular one. Okay, so next let's go to, now let's go to our gaming engines. So this is Unity, and as you can see, I just put in, once again, your general, the general lighting. Here is your room. So you can just, you can just build and build and build, and it will, it will, in the, your whole gaming sets you'll be able to, here is the main room, and then just put in your effects and whatever you need, As you can see, it looks pretty freaking good. Put in your monsters, put in your volumetric effects, put in your heroes, and just pop them right in, and you're ready to go. Okay. And let's see, is there any more I need to show you on here? And you want to keep, you want to kind of have your just general items there, and then you can build both. In fact, every application I'm using, including Unity, Blender, Unreal, all have snapping mechanisms where when you build them, they'll snap to the geometry, and I've made them so they are the same size. They'll just snap right into one another as you build. They'll just snap right in, and as you can see, it looks pretty freaking cool. Okay, all right, so there's that, and now I'm going to load up Unreal and show you Unreal. And as you'll be able to see, it looks freaking spectacular in Unreal. Better, I mean, it took me a while. You'll notice that all of the here, let's go to play, because it'll set boundaries. It'll set bounding boxes. Okay, so and it's a little brighter, so you can see the detail of it. Here's the big room. See, look at it. Dirt walls. Let's go and look at the dirt walls again. You know, and you can build huge, vast dungeons too, depending on what kind of game needs you have. This is just a preliminary dungeon too. And here you have, you know, your and I just did general lighting. I didn't, you know, I mean, you're gonna probably need to make changes or whatever you need to make to get this exactly what you want. But just to give you a general overview of what you can make, I include this dungeon too. And if you do have any problems getting it to be seamless like this, then I have a technique that is I had to invent in order to make this seamless like this. Like, I know if you're a developer at all, you know that it is not easy to get Unreal into Modular, and I have the technique. So if you buy the model, if you buy this model and you want that technique, then then just message me and I will tell you exactly how I got this perfectly seamless. It was not easy to get this seamless. But it is a technique that requires basically. Whoa. It is a technique that requires nothing but free software, and so this way, with this technique, you don't have to tweak with lights, and you don't have to like hide stuff and move, because I didn't want people to have to buy the set and be like, oh, I have to tweak this light and do this and do this. I didn't want that, so I went and spent a long time making sure that I had a technique that I could give to people that would make it so they are completely 100% able to use this seamlessly without any problems. And if you want to, if you buy the set and you need that info, if you're going to put it in Unreal and you put it in and it's not working right, then just message me and I will tell you exactly how to get. And it's not hard, but essentially the issue is every single piece of geometry in Unreal. This is what I've heard. This is the issues that I was having is that every single piece of geometry comes from this is what they say, is registering on a different CPU core. Well, I have multiple cores, and so when I would put it in, it would segment out, and so the general world space would be wrong, and so so you would sorry about the scene, I mean the little open areas, but those can easily be fixed. But here's the large room. And you can, what was I saying? Shoot. You can, it's very easy. You just, okay, so here's the issue. It works on multiple cores. So every single core was generating the usability of, it was generating the shadowing for separate segments to it. Okay, so you would get world space would be all objects. It makes everything an object space. So I don't know if you know too much about this, but you can actually, I found a way to make sure that all of the model geometry is in a world space according to what it is and where it is, without needing any kind of lighting. I mean, the lighting is strictly, I just threw the lighting in. All this lighting with all of this, all of this lighting is just thrown in. I just threw it right in, with no tweaking, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to have and make sure that everything, and depending on what kind of resolution, let's go out of gameplay. Okay, so depending on what kind of resolution you need, there is no light mask tweaking. I didn't even set the light map density in this. I just threw it in and threw lighting in it, after I followed a certain couple different procedures from free software that you can just download and use. And it's very simple. The technique to do it, you have to follow a certain procedure before you import it. But once you follow that certain procedure and format it in a certain way and set everything to the world space, it looks every single time 100%, no matter how big the maps are or anything. And because it's such small geometry, it doesn't, it's not that big. The biggest part of these, of course, is the texturing, which I did go all out on, because I wanted to have something that would be really spectacular for gameplay, and I wasn't going to have it be all seamy and stuff, because that's just, it makes it useless. But I did find a technique to use the modular sets in Unreal. And if you get this, if you buy this, I will tell you exactly how to do it. And the thing is, it's not super hard. It took me a long time to figure it out, but it works every single time. So what you do is you need to build what you're doing, then you need to, and then you format it correctly, import it, set up the different materials, and boom, you're done. It's super easy. And I went and looked for any kind of solution I could when I found out it was that I was getting these seams, and I was like, I can't have these seams. And then all of the internet said, oh well, you can't, because everything's run by different GPU core or CPU cores. And I was like, nah. There has to be a way. So I went and found out how. And as you can see, I don't know if you've even seen any modular sets that look this good, but I can. The good thing is that any other modular sets that you use or purchase from other people, you can use the exact same technique that I used for this on them also, and it will absolutely work. On any kind of geometry, it will work. So you can build your sets, because I like modularity, just because you can reuse the sets over and over again. Also included, the next up here is I'm also going to include the surface, the substance painter files. What you have here is you have the substance painter, I'm going to everything has its own, so you can bring any kind of item into it. It's set to your general what size you would think in world space, in just the world, like what size you would think. I think it's like 7 meters, I believe, something like that in height. Something like maybe larger. You can increase it in size too. It's not going to affect it. You can enlarge them really to whatever size you want. But I also want to include all the Substance Painter files. So you can go through and change them over and over. So if you need to add some certain things, or you need to create another model that so you need more variants, you can go save it as a separate item, bring it into Substance Painter, paint it differently. It even save them as your each individual item as a smart material. Then apply what ones you want as smart material, and then kind of paint the ones that you need to also. And I'll say I'm gonna also include it in this is gonna be every single piece in there, in its Substance Painter file. So you can if you need a different kind of stone in other places, you can use that. You'll be able to do whatever you want. If you need a different color dirt in this, you can change it. I would suggest downloading the plugin that allows you to create to save your colors, because I would use your colors are important for seamlessness. If you're going to repaint this, use the same however many colors you want. This has a 3-color solution to it, not including the moss, which has another 3-color. So I used a 3-color tone, so a dark tone, mid-tone, light tone for the dirt. You want to make sure that you use the exact same color every single time for every single piece. Otherwise, you're going to be able to, no matter how close to world space all your objects are, it won't look seamless because you've used different colors for your different pieces. Do it all procedurally. Make sure that you're doing it procedurally, because otherwise you're going to be doing it over and over. And I just want to tell you that, because if you're going to repaint this, you absolutely have to use the same colors on every single piece. And when you apply variants, apply it. You make sure that you're applying it. Make sure that you're applying it generally to the whole piece. And that will help it blend. As you can see, this took me a while to get it, colored seamlessly. And that's that. Okay, and that's the end of the video. Just wanted to show you guys the awesome things that you can create. And with the Substance Painter files, you can change it. And once you're used to, I also am going to have a key in there, so you can look at all the different pieces and understand what different pieces are used for what. This right here, these pieces here, then I wanted to use the least amount of pieces I could. So you grab these pieces and then just rotate them, and they'll fit right into here. So then you have your full tunnel. This piece right here can then be copied and turned, copied, turned, rotated. You can have a complete curve that curves in, and it'll look seamless and look beautiful for you. Thanks so much, guys, for looking at it.
Thank you so much for looking at it. Appreciate it. Okay.
Hope you enjoy it. Hope you have fun playing around with it and building super awesome dungeons. Thank you.